Is it possible to use one of these heated eye massager masks as a good dry eye treatment? A lot of people have been asking me about this, so I actually got one of the Renpho brands and I tested it out, and here are my thoughts. Let's focus in. So first off, what is a warm compress and what makes an efficient warm compress that is good for treating dry eyes? The idea behind a warm compress is when you apply heat to the eyelids, you are trying to liquefy the oil in the Meibomian glands, these oil glands in your eyelids. When the oil in these oil glands gets hard and stagnant, they can get thick and they can clog, they can cause styes, but a big one is they can cause dry eyes. So one of the most common dry eye treatments is to do a warm compress routinely every day to try and liquefy that oil, help the dry eyes, help your Meibomian glands. And specifically what you're treating is something called Meibomian Gland Dysfunction, where your oil glands are not working correctly and so you have dry eyes because of this. And this is one of the most common causes, one of the most common types of dry eye out there. And the next question is, what actually makes a good warm compress? What makes it efficient? Number one, you want something that is going to provide sustained heat for enough time, and usually that time is around 15 minutes. You want to get a warm compress that can keep and retain its heat for close to 15 minutes, as close as you can to that number. And number two, the temperature of that warm compress that you want to stay at is between 40 and 45 degrees Celsius. If you go too high, then you risk maybe burning your eyelid skin. If you go too low, then it really isn't doing enough to liquefy that oil in your oil glands. So you want a warm compress that can keep that same temperature for up to 15 minutes. So how does this stack up? Now the model that I got is the Renpho Eyeris 1. If you look online, look on Amazon, there are a bunch of different Renpho models, a bunch of different brands that have the heated dry eye mask, and this is the one I got because it is advertising it as a dry eye treatment and saying that it can retain the heat between 40 and 42 degrees Celsius, which is big, and so that's why I got it and tested it out. The first thing that I tested right out of the box is I turned it on, turned the heat on, waited for a little bit, and then I measured the temperature with an infrared thermometer, and I just wanted to see what temperature it'd go to, and I was getting maybe 34, maybe 35 degrees Celsius, so I was a little bit disappointed. So then I thought, okay, let's just see what it's like after I wear it for maybe 10 minutes, just to see where that temperature is. Maybe it gets warmer when it's actually, on my eyes. So I wore it for 10 minutes and then took it right off, immediately measured the temperature, and maybe got 37 degrees, depending on where I was pointing it, or 36 degrees. So I was a little bit disappointed that it didn't reach that 40 degree Celsius point. And so, did it feel good? Yes, the heat felt good. My worry, though, is that it's not doing enough. It's not efficient enough. It's probably still helping, still doing something, but maybe not hitting the goal that we want to if we really want to be serious about a warm compress. Now, a lot of people might ask, hey, was this the best way to measure the temperature? Well, for reference, I did measure the temperature on an electronic heat mask that I have, and it has different settings, low, medium, high, and the low setting was around that 36, 37 degree Celsius. The really high setting was getting into the 50s, which might actually be a little too high, but the medium setting was actually perfect. At least perfect in that settings or in that range. And so comparing this to that heat mask, that other heat mask was actually definitely better, reached enough heat to actually be efficient. Now let's talk about one of the other features, the eye massager, because a lot of times what goes hand in hand with the warm compress is to do an eyelid massage, to gently massage the eyelids, massage the oil glands in the eyelids. This is to help express that liquefied oil out of the glands. And I want to emphasize on the word gently, because some of the concerns when you do warm compresses and you heat up the eyes and you do a eyelid massage, the concern is you can actually change or deform the structure of the eye or the front of the eye, the cornea, or you could potentially raise the eye pressure of the eye. Now, these are all concerns that people worry about. Probably studies being done on that right now, but how does the eye mask, the Renpho eye mask, hold up, and how does it do with the eye massage? It actually has two settings, kind of a soft and a hard eye massager, and most of the massaging is done on the temples and maybe around the bone of the eye. But there is some pressure on the eye. In fact, when it was on the hard or the higher massage setting, It freaked me out a little bit just because in the back of my mind I was wondering, ooh, is this pushing a little bit hard? Ooh, this might be a little bit too much. I was just constantly thinking about it, thinking about eye pressure and retina. What if someone is on the edge of getting a retinal detachment? Would this cause a problem? Just because I kept thinking about it, probably because I'm an eye doctor and just couldn't stop thinking about it, probably most people wouldn't have those concerns. Now in the softer setting, I was able to relax a little bit more. The massage was mostly on the temples and the brow and bone orbit of the eye, but not necessarily on the eyeball. Still a little bit, so it kind of worried me. But the massage didn't feel like it would be massaging the oil glands or trying to get the oil out of the oil glands. It's more just kind of a pressure. So for that reason, it's doing something. Maybe not enough or maybe not efficient. And I actually have a video, a how-to video, how to properly do an eyelid massage following a warm compress, how you can do it safely and gently, how I usually do it. So I'll put that in the description below underneath the like button. So overall, do I recommend this for a dedicated warm compress eyelid massage dry eye treatment? No, not for that sole purpose. Meaning there are different warm compresses on the market that I think do a better job. They'll be more efficient, and different ways you can do eyelid massages that could be safer and more effective as well. Now that being said, I totally get why a lot of people like this. A lot of people have these types of eye masks. The model that I have actually plays some music. It actually connects to Bluetooth. You can play your audiobook or your own music. It has a vibration setting, and I had my wife try it. She actually likes it. It's relaxing. And that being said, sometimes stress can be related to dry eyes. So if this can reduce your stress levels, there could be a benefit there for sure. Now, will this work? Will this help with dry eyes? I really do think it will. It may not work as well as other options, but I do think it will do something. In fact, if you want to check out the warm compresses that I've tested out, the ones that I like, I'll put the playlist right here of warm compresses and eyelid massages so you can check that out. But yeah, happy hunting and finding a warm compress that helps. Again, this is still great, but I think there are better products out there. I hope this helped. I'm Dr. Neil Guymon, Dr. Eye Guy. Stay focused.